everyone, and welcome to Fletcher Farms Amarillo. I'm Julie Fletcher. I wanted to get out an update video today on Amara. If you don't know Amara's story, I'll put a link in the description below to her other videos. But a quick summary on what happened with Amara if you're new to our channel. She was rescued back in May from Bowie, Texas livestock, and she had some cuts and abrasions on her one side, and we didn't quite know what those were from. We were told from the livestock yard that she might have had a fall, but they didn't really know either. So we took her to the vet initially and got her checked out, found out she did have an infection, probably from the cuts and abrasions that she had on that side of her body. Got her on some antibiotics and started getting her on the road to recovery, and then she had a fall in our barn and she couldn't get back up. But like I said, if you haven't seen those videos, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check those out. But this is an update on Amara and what she's been up to and how she's been doing. This is our beautiful girl, Amara. She still is in pretty rough shape after her fall that she had in our barn. She definitely does not like leaving the barn, but she does have a doctor's appointment this week. We'll check her blood work and see if that infection's gone. I know, and you're all kinds of sweaty today, and you're just a hot mess, aren't you? Yeah. But her wounds are healing up. That one that's on her hip is still pretty bad, but as you can see, this one's all closed up and the hair's all growing back, so that's a good thing. After Amara fell in the barn, she did stay at MVP for 2 days for observation and some fluids because she was a little bit dehydrated. She did still have that infection, so Dr. Waggoner did want her checked again to see if that infection went away after another 2 weeks of antibiotics. So this was when we went back for her checkup, blood work, and some additional X-rays.
The facet joints are supposed to be right here.
Okay.
And they're not very clear. And then this is a proliferation around that facet joint. The other notable thing on these x-rays, this is getting back towards the back of the neck.
Okay.
This space between the vertebral bodies looks pretty good. This space looks pretty good, and then this one's a lot narrower.
Okay.
So we think there's some disc disease at this space, which I think he said was C5, C6.
Okay.
So in the back of the neck, and so that is the most common site, or the most likely site for compression. But she doesn't have very good spaces here. These are intervertebral foramen. That's where the nerves exit the spinal cord. Okay. Those aren't very good spaces either. So with all of that combined, we just feel like she has significant osteoarthritis of the neck.
Okay.
Contributing to, her, she's kind of unsteady and when the spinal cord is compressed as it goes through right here,
right,
that affects all 4 of her legs.
Gotcha.
A normal facet where you can see the space, and then in the rest of these, there's hardly any space.
Oh, okay.
So
their spinal cord or their vertebrae doesn't look anything like what ours does.
No.
Wow. Okay. Guess I've never seen a horse vertebrae before.
Their vertebra, this is like a good straight on view of their vertebra.
Okay.
And this is a facet joint right here. That's
okay.
the normal one that I pointed out on or more normal. It's still got arthritis there. But then coming back, you can't even see the joint space.
Gotcha. Another concern we had was Amara's hip injury was not healing. All the rest of her wounds were healing up and closing, and her abrasions were getting better, but this one on her back hip was not healing properly. There was still a big open wound, so Dr. Waggoner wanted to clean it up and do an x-ray on it.
Pressure on a spot like that,
and
the blood supply to that bone will get disrupted a bit.
Okay.
And then, so the edge of that bone kind of starts to devitalize. That's probably what happens.
Is that why it looks like the way it does then? Okay.
And then it won't heal because the bone isn't healthy underneath there.
Okay.
So that's probably what's going on. So what we do for those is a surgical procedure where we kind of scrape out the bad bone.
Okay.
And hopefully it heals after that.
Okay.
That's what we plan to do with her. It would be something we do standing, as kind of a standing surgery.
Okay.
And just kind of open that wound, clean it up really good, scrape it out, and then let it heal just naturally. So it'll be kind of an open wound that'll have to heal up.
Okay.
So.
We were also taking Amara for shockwave therapy. This was to help the muscles in her neck and hopefully help her recover a little bit from her arthritis. So this is a little bit of her shockwave procedure. Shockwave therapy is a supersonic wave of focused sound energy that pulses through the body. As it passes through cells, it stresses them into releasing healing proteins, which has a positive effect of increasing blood flow, decreasing inflammation, accelerating bone growth, and releasing muscle tension while providing pain relief. This procedure was actually developed for human use in breaking up kidney stones. The technique has been adapted by veterinarians to reduce pain and stimulate healing. I'll go ahead and speed this up for you because this was a very long procedure. They did do both sides of her neck, but I did want you to see just how much I think Amara enjoyed this and how much it helped her. The good news we got at this appointment was that her white cell count was back to normal, so her infection was cleared up. After her procedure, they gave her a bath to get the gel off. She was not happy about getting a bath. In addition to the shockwave therapy, another part of Amara's care is going to be chiropractic adjustments on her neck and her back. This was her first chiropractic adjustment, so I wanted to make sure that I got a video for everyone to watch.
And then adjust the coordinate. So she's got asymmetry of her right pole versus the left, so.
So chiropractic adjustments for horses aren't anything like people's.
The principles are the same, but how you accomplish it is different for sure.
Gotcha.
It's like how, when you get adjusted, the
Yeah.
initial thing is
Yeah.
like,
Whoa.
but
Oh, I heard that.
I heard that. Wow.
no, it's okay.
Do you want me to stand on this side?
Sure.
Of course. It's okay, Mamas. Easy. Okay, Mamas. Easy. Good girl, Mamas.
Alright, you got a catheter, okay?
Her back is really stiff. There's a little bit of mobility up here, like it bounces a little bit. Back in the back, it's just super stiff. It doesn't seem overtly painful, it's just. Her pelvis is asymmetric too, and towards the left is dropped down, but we can't really adjust from that tuberculosis because it's diseased. So we'll actually, this is a hard one because she also has this kind of issue back here, but we can adjust the pelvis using the tuber ischiae, which is what we'll try to do in her case. She's just so big, I feel like I'm not affecting the most, but even just moving it a little bit will. That's good. Oh yeah. Some good mobility at least, so that's good.
That tickled.
That will help her pelvis and her back become a little less stiff if y'all do that.
Really?
Really? I didn't know that. That's neat.
What does that do?
It just
Stimulates like bonking your knee?
it's kind of, yeah, they don't like it, so they try to move away from it, so then they activate all the muscles in their pelvis and up their back.
Okay.
So won't hurt to do that on her. But perfect. I think that's good. We got good responses to her neck adjustments. And,
Okay.
hopefully that will help. Between the shockwave and that to free it up, I bet she'll continue to
Improve.
improve.
How often do you think we should do this?
Once a month would be really good for her, or every
Okay.
6 weeks.
Okay.
Whatever's convenient.
Okay.
And then she'll probably reach a point where it stagnates and she doesn't improve very much.
Okay.
And then we can slow it down to, once every 3 months or
Right.
so.
Right.
Just to keep her maintained, but
She's moving her neck more.
I'm gonna go get her some Alpha Pro just so she has a good.
Okay. Dr. Waggoner ends all of her therapy treatments with a big handful of Alpha Pro. Of course, she can't get it off the ground, but we get her a big handful of Alpha Pro and she definitely enjoys it. So our plan moving forward with Amara is to take her once a month for chiropractic adjustments along with her shockwave therapy to hopefully help some of this severe arthritis that she has in her neck. We were really glad that her infection is all cleared up and that she is lifting her head higher in this video, as you can see on one of our walks, that she is lifting her head higher, so that was a good sign. The one concern we do have with Amara is why she's still weak in that back end and why she's having a problem turning to the left. Dr. Waggoner does think that she might be having some neurological issues due to the severity of her arthritis. So we're really hoping that this treatment and the medications we have her on are going to help her. But due to the severity of her neck arthritis, only time will tell if this treatment's helping her. So for now, we will give her all the love that we can give her and all the Alpha Pro and hay that she wants. A lot of Amara's videos are in this corner of the barn. I believe that she uses that panel behind her to lean against when she sleeps at night since she can't lay down. And this is the perfect spot because the fans are blowing on her, plus she gets a breeze from outside and she can see the other horses as well. My friend Michelle from Las Vegas was visiting with her kids. This is Kirsten with Amara, and she also helped me out with Amara quite a bit. She helped me clean her wounds, helped me feed her, and take care of all the animals. So it's always nice to have an extra hand on the farm when people are here visiting. Amara's just such a gentle horse. She let Kirsten clean her wounds. I did put Kirsten on the other side of the fence just in case Amara would kick. Not that she ever has, but just for safety, I put Kirsten on the other side of the fence. So this was Kirsten taking care of all her wounds and cleaning her up, and Amara did such a good job. Since Amara's neck is stiff, I usually try to give her a neck massage. She always seems to like it, and she'll either put her head on my shoulder or twitch her lip. So this is me giving Amara her neck massage. Amara still can't lower her head all the way to the ground, so we do have her bowl still elevated. The black bowl is for her food, and then the other bowl over there is for her water. But she does enjoy her Alpha Pro, and this is her favorite part of the day. One morning, Amara had a visitor for breakfast. As you can see, there's a pigeon on her back. Our friends Larry and Harriet were also here for a visit. This is Harriet brushing Amara, and it's amazing to me because Amara was very standoffish when we first got her and wasn't very trusting of people. So this is amazing for me to see other people in her stall and brushing her and loving her and just giving her the love and attention that she deserves. Yeah, it's like a little bit further. Yeah, right about there is where it hurts her, I think.
That feel good, buddy?
Yeah.
So when I start doing his back, he backs up.
Yeah. Do my neck.
And do his neck.
Do my neck, yeah.
That feel good?
That's the spot. Yeah, you got little twitchy nose. Look at you holding your head up high. Yeah, you feel better? Yeah. Last week, Amara started acting a little bit different. Usually every morning after breakfast, I would let her out and she would go out and walk around in her run while the other horses were in the pasture. And this day she just would not leave the barn. I tried to take her on a walk on a halter and she just refused to leave her stall. So I didn't know what was happening here, but she was just very uneasy. She was still eating her dinner and her hay and everything seemed fine with her, but she was just acting a little bit off. Since her behavior was changing, Dr. Waggoner suggested that I bring her into the clinic for a checkup, so I did go ahead and make an appointment for her for the following week. I started getting really concerned when she stumbled backwards while I was giving her her hay. I had just finished feeding all the horses and went back into the house, and I got an alert on my phone that there was motion in her run. So whenever there was motion in her run, I always made sure I checked to see what was happening, and this was happening. She's very weak in her back end, was having a hard time standing, and definitely couldn't turn to her left. So at this point, I was extremely concerned about what was going on with Amara. Of course, I ran outside to check on her to see what was happening, and she was just standing in this corner, so I stayed with her for a while and then went back inside. And the one thing we prayed for not to happen, happened. Amara collapsed and laid down. This was a few hours after she had stumbled in the barn, so it was probably closer to 10 o'clock at night by now. Of course, I saw what was happening and rushed outside. I got her up onto her side. However, Corey was out of town and I was by myself. So I got her up onto her side and tried to get her up with everything that I could, and she was just not standing up. The only thing I knew at this point was to call somebody over to help me, and Kara got up in the middle of the night and came over. But by the time Kara got here, Amara was just to a point where she wasn't even trying to get up and was actually fighting us to stay down. We tried several more times throughout the night, and Amara was just not getting up, and every time would just fight us to stay down. So we took that as a sign that she was trying to tell us something. We did get a blanket under her head so she wasn't laying in the dirt. We tried to keep her as comfortable as possible. Kara stayed with me for a few hours, and we just comforted her and kept her calm. And we kept reminding her how much she was loved. Kara left at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and of course, I put my pajamas back on and stayed in the barn with her all night long, in hopes that she would make an attempt to try to stand up on her own. And of course, Lucas, the emotional support cat, was there to be right by her side as well. Corey got home that next morning, and I called Dr. Waggoner first thing in the morning and told her what had happened. And she said the best thing that we could do at this point, since she wasn't trying to stand up on her own and was fighting us, was for us to say goodbye to her. A decision to end an animal's life is never made easily, but Corey and I will always do what's best for the animal. Amara was a strong horse and was not showing us the pain she was in. Her quality of life was declining rapidly over the last week. She didn't want to leave the barn and was mostly just standing in her favorite corner. This wasn't living for her anymore, so we made the decision to say goodbye and do what was best for Amara. This is definitely not the way that I planned on ending this video. I actually had this video all made and done and ready to go when I was going to release it last week, at the beginning of the week, and everything happened last weekend, and we're completely devastated, and this one's hitting us really hard. Amara was so special to us, and we wanted to give her so much more time. We thought we had her on the road to recovery with all the right medical treatment and everything that we tried for her with chiropractic care and shockwave therapy, and we just got to her too late, and she was in very rough shape, and not knowing that she had some neurological issues just added to everything. So this definitely was not the way we wanted this video to end. And we're really extremely devastated by this one. It's hitting the foundation really hard. Amara was very special to us, and as with all the horses, I had a very special bond with her. So she's no longer in pain, and that we did the right thing for her. And I just wish we could have had more time with her, but with all these horses in the condition that they usually come to us in, we never know how much time we're going to actually have with them. We did everything possible that we could for her, and we stayed with her until the end. So I do apologize for ending this video the way we did. This was definitely not how I saw things happening for Amara. We really wanted to give her a long, long retirement here on the farm, and that just wasn't in the cards for her. I'm sure some of you will ask too, we did give Amara's body to Texas Tech School of Veterinary Medicine so they could do further research and try to help other horses in the future. We did give her over to Dr. Brown and the college, just like we did with Lucky. I will have another video. I did get a follow-up on Lucky's autopsy, so I will be doing a video on that as well. But thank you all so much for all of your support. We do truly appreciate it. And everyone else is doing well on the farm, so stay tuned for more updates on the other horses. And again, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate your support.